myself. My name is Schreiner, and I had the privilege of being Mike Schreiner's campaign manager 4 years ago. And I want to say what a privilege it was to make history 4 years ago. But what I want everyone here to be so clear on is that we need to make history again. And this election is even more important than the last one, because we're going to send Mike back to Queen's Park with a team. I want to say thank you so much for all the people that worked so hard and so long to make this event happen tonight, but also thank you to each and every one of you. These are tough times. It is hard to be hopeful. And what I see is a room full of people who see the possibility of a better tomorrow and are ready to work for it. When I was driving to this office tonight, when I was coming up Edinburgh Hill, I saw this sign, and I'm being totally honest. When I saw the word re-elect on this sign, I started to cry. And as someone whose job it was to hold expectations until the votes were count, I kind of have trouble believing this, but it's real, it's here, and we're going to do it. You know, just before I came here, I was on a panel with the agenda with Steve Paikin on at 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock tonight. And yes, I got the last question. And what Steve asked me is, you know, everyone knows that Mike punches above his weight, but what should people in Ontario think about this one guy? What can one person do? I said, you know, we need to be sending a team to work with Mike in Queen's Park. But when we look at the politics as usual of the older parties, we don't see innovation. We don't see anything new. We need new solutions for our old problems. And looking at our policy on the climate economy is exactly the kind of solution that I'm talking about. Scientists aren't telling us that the sky is going to fall. Scientists are telling us it's falling right now, and it seems the best Doug Ford can do is to say, don't look up. I really, really am looking forward to tonight. I really hope you brought your wallets, because change isn't cheap. But luckily, it's my job to ask you for money, not Mike. So without further, please join the MPP for Guelph, leader of the Green Party, Mike Schreiner. 4 more years, 4 more years.
Oh, Guelph is amazing. I love this town, and it was so great to come home tonight after 2 long days. Our nights finished late last night in Parry Sound, Muskoka. We got down to Toronto, I don't know, it was midnight or later, was up again at 5 this morning, and we've been doing rallies all across Southern Ontario, Toronto, Dufferin, Caledon, and coming home to Guelph and seeing all the signs on Arthur Street as I pulled into my driveway just re-energized me. And I can't tell you how much energy I have because of all of you. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So many people say to me, Mike, you deal with Doug all week, trying to like keeping from the worst excesses of destroying our environment and paving over our children's future. Like, how do you get the energy? And I always say, I come home to Guelph on Thursday nights and it re-energizes me to go back and fight the good fight the next Monday. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that Guelph is seated on traditional indigenous lands, the traditional lands of the Adirondack, the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe peoples, currently the treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. And I want to make it clear that a land acknowledgement is not a box to check. It is an acknowledgement of the truth and a commitment to reconciliation, a commitment to indigenous sovereignty, a commitment to dismantling colonial structures. And Greens will walk hand in hand because we know that we cannot heal our relationship with Mother Earth until we heal our relationship with indigenous and non-indigenous people. So I want to tell you, we are on the first day of what is arguably the most important election of our lifetime. It is clear, the scientists have made it clear, it is now or never to address the climate crisis. We absolutely have to ensure that we take the steps necessary to ensure that our children have a livable future. And we also know that we have a whole generation of young people wondering if they'll ever be able to afford to have a home, to buy a home, or even find a place to rent. And we know after 2 years of the pandemic, which has turned our lives upside down and revealed the cracks in our systems from jobs to healthcare to housing, that the toll on our middle, and that everything is not okay in this province. And that is why I'm so proud that the Ontario Green Party was the first party in Ontario history to release a standalone mental health platform that says mental health is health, and we will fund mental health through OHIP so people can afford and access it. Our masterclass plan in addressing the housing affordability crisis will ensure that we build the homes that people want to live in, that are affordable, that are in the communities they love. And we can do it without paving over the farmland that feeds us and the wetlands that clean our drinking water and protect us from flooding. Without a doubt, this morning, after we launched the campaign, my first rally was at Diane Saxe's campaign office. And I just want to say really quick, by the way, Doug Ford fired the wrong environment commissioner, because we're going to send Diane Saxe back to Queen's Park as the MPP for University Rosedale. We have such an amazing group of candidates, and I believe there are some candidates in the room tonight. So can you raise your hands if you're running for the Ontario Greens in this election? Yeah, oh, amazing. Can we give them all a big round of applause? I mentioned Diane because the climate plan we released last November is the most ambitious, practical, doable plan to crush climate pollution by 50% by 2030 and to be fully net zero by 2045. And to do it in a way that makes life more affordable for people by reducing transit costs, making electric vehicles affordable for the average person, and ensuring that we live in communities where you can walk and cycle and take a transit ride within 15 minutes to get to the places you want to go. A plan that helps you save money by saving energy, retrofitting your home, and reducing climate pollution. A plan that will set Ontario up to be the climate leader the global leader in the new climate economy so we can have the kind of job growth and innovation that we've seen right here in Guelph. So I want to answer Steve Pakin's question for you, Sean. What can one green MPP do? What can one green MPP do? Well, I can tell you one green MPP can deliver things for his or her riding. And whether it's, yeah, absolutely. You know, whether it's significant funding for the biggest expansion to Guelph General Hospital we've seen in decades. Whether it's funding to support youth mental health services in our community and the new building that's being built up on Woolwich Street. I'm looking at one of my favorite local business owners, and whether it's helping small businesses get the grant supports they needed to get through this pandemic, whether it was finally, after, I don't know, over a decade of trying to close the Dolime Quarry to protect our water, to actually get it done. I'd say that one green MPP can deliver things at the provincial level as well, leading the charge to force Doug Ford to backtrack on opening the Greenbelt for development. Leading the charge to force Doug Ford to revoke the ministerial zoning order to build an Amazon warehouse on the Duffins Creek wetlands. Passing 2 private members' bills in 4 years. Including the first bill in Ontario history co-sponsored by all 4 parties in the legislature. I was proud to spearhead that, showing people that you can do politics differently in this province. But we're not finished yet. The job is not done. We have to address the climate emergency. We have to address the housing affordability crisis. We have to invest in better public services, expanding publicly funded, publicly delivered healthcare, improving education by investing in our public schools, eliminating poverty by increasing social assistance rates, standing for our communities. I've been traveling all day. I got to tell you, I get a little emotional here. My teenage daughter got up at 5 this morning to join me. She's traveled the entire day with me. As a reminder, every stop we make for the future that we are fighting for in this election. Yeah, please. We have a clear choice. Are we going to allow Doug Ford to pave over our children and grandchildren's future? Or are we going to stand up and stop Highway 413? So I just want to close by saying how much I appreciate how hard each and every one of you are working. We're a team. My name may be on the sign. This is a team. This is what power politics looks like. This is what people standing up and saying enough is enough. Let's build a better future. That we need real solutions for the old problems we've been facing, and that we need action now because we cannot afford to wait to address the climate crisis. We have to act now, and we're going to do it together. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your work. And we're going to go out and we're going to elect other greens because I need some friends at Queen's Park. Because if you can imagine what one green MPP can do, imagine what a caucus of green MPPs are going to do for the province of Ontario. And it all started right here in Guelph. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.